Is the Galaxy S26 going to be worse in Europe? Well, if the latest leaks are true, that might just be the case. Samsung could be bringing back one of its most controversial decisions, using different chips for different regions. And if you're in Europe, you might be getting the short end of the stick. Earlier this year, Samsung used only Qualcomm chips across the entire Galaxy S25 lineup. The powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 was in every model, in every country. That was a big deal because it meant everyone got the same performance and battery life, no matter where they lived. But now, reports are saying that with the Galaxy S26, Samsung might not stick to that strategy. Instead, they might go back to splitting their phones by region, just like they did in the past. According to several reliable sources online, Europe may get the Galaxy S26 with Samsung's new Exynos 2600 chip, while other markets like the US and Asia will get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, and this is where the concern comes in. This wouldn't be the first time Samsung has done this. Back in 2022, the Galaxy S22 series had the Exynos 2200 in Europe, while other regions got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. The problem? The Exynos version didn't perform as well. It was slower, had lower graphics performance, and didn't manage heat or battery as efficiently. That led to a lot of user complaints, especially in Europe. People felt like they were paying the same price, but getting a worse product. Samsung seemed to listen after that. The Galaxy S23 used Snapdragon chips worldwide, and even the Galaxy S25 this year followed that all-Snapdragon approach again. But, now, with the Galaxy S26, it looks like they might split it again. So why is this happening? According to leaks, it might be because of production issues. Samsung is using a new 2-nanometer manufacturing process for the Exynos 2600, and the early production yields are reportedly low. This means they can't make enough chips yet, so they might only use the Exynos version in certain regions, like Europe, where they think they can handle demand better. Now here's where it gets even more confusing. Some reports say this: chip split may not apply to every S26 model. The Galaxy S26 Ultra might still get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 everywhere, while only the regular S26 and S26 Plus get the Exynos chip in Europe. And that raises a fair question. Why always Europe? Samsung hasn't officially said why they pick Europe for the Exynos models when they do this split. Some think it has to do with cost or supply chain logistics. Others believe it's because the European market is more willing to accept changes. Like this, even if it means slightly lower performance. To be clear, none of this is confirmed by Samsung yet. These are still leaks and rumors, so it's important to take them with a grain of salt. Why is Samsung putting titanium in its new foldable phones? That's the question people are asking after news came out that the upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Samsung's new trifold phone will use titanium for the backplate. It's not just for looks. There's a solid reason behind this move, and it's all about making foldables thinner and more durable. First, what is the backplate? The backplate is a support part that sits between the foldable screen and the hinge. It doesn't have any gears or moving parts, but it gives structure to the phone and makes sure the foldable display and hinge can work properly. It's a key part of foldable phones, but not something you usually hear much about. So why is titanium being used? Titanium is very strong and lightweight, but it's also harder to process than other metals. Until now, Samsung mostly used carbon, fiber-reinforced plastic CFRP or stainless steel SOS in the Zfold series. But with more users asking for thinner and lighter foldable phones, titanium seems like the perfect fit. Samsung already tested this material in the Galaxy Z Fold SE, a slim foldable phone released last year. That phone didn't support the S Pen stylus, so Samsung removed the digitizer, the thin part that allows the phone to detect a stylus. That digitizer alone was about 0.3 millimeters thick per side. Removing it shaved off 0.6 millimeters from the total thickness. As a result, the Galaxy Z Fold SE was 10.6 millimeters thick when folded, compared to 12.1 millimeters for the Z Fold 6. That's a noticeable difference. By combining no digitizer and a titanium backplate, Samsung managed to make its slimmest foldable yet. So now, for the Galaxy Z Fold 7, Samsung seems to be following the same idea. The company is expected to remove the digitizer again, which means no S Pen support. That may disappoint some users, But for others, a thinner and lighter phone is more important. Titanium is not just thinner. It also makes the phone feel more premium and stronger. So it's a trade-off between stylus features and a slimmer design. What about future stylus support without a digitizer? It's something Samsung is working on. Other companies like Apple already use styluses with built-in batteries to work without a digitizer. Samsung's display team has been developing similar tech with a company called High Deep, but it looks like it's not ready yet for the Zfold 7 or the new Trifold model. And what about the Galaxy Z Flip 7? That model, Samsung's smaller clamshell style, foldable, will not get the titanium backplate. It will continue using stainless steel, SUS, like before. That's because the Z Flip series has never supported stylus input, so the need to change the backplate or remove the digitizer doesn't apply. Leaks around the upcoming iPhone 17 Air have just dropped, and the big talking point is a tiny battery. Yes, you heard that right. Apple is reportedly putting a 2800 mAh battery inside the iPhone 17 Air. That's not just small, it's smaller than the already tiny 3900 mAh battery found in the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. This new iPhone 17 Air is set to replace the current Plus model, but instead of offering more power or longer battery life, Apple seems to be chasing a slimmer and lighter design. According to the leak, the iPhone 17 Air will be just 5.5 millimeters thick and weigh only 145 grams. To compare, the Galaxy S25 Edge is 5.8 millimeters thick. So sure, Apple's phone is thinner, but is it really worth it? The trade-off here is obvious. Thinner phone, shorter battery life. And this is something users have been complaining about for years. They want more battery, not less. It feels like we're going backwards. There have been whispers that Apple might use a denser battery to try and make up for the small size. But that's just a rumor for now. And honestly, it doesn't seem very likely. What's more realistic is that Apple will push battery cases as the solution, just like they sold USB-C dongles after removing the headphone jack. The problem? If you buy one of those battery cases, the phone will no longer be thin, which totally cancels out the main reason Apple is making the phone this slim in the first place. It's like buying a sports car and then towing a trailer behind it every day. What's the point? Now, Apple also plans to use something called Apple Intelligence to help extend battery life. Basically, they want to train artificial intelligence using real-world data from thousands of users. The goal is to optimize which apps run when to save energy. In theory, this could help, but in reality, AI-based battery saving hasn't exactly blown anyone away yet. So don't count on this feature to make a huge difference, at least not right away. This move feels a bit familiar. Samsung did something similar with the Galaxy S25 Edge, and it didn't really land well with users. Many people are still asking why Samsung released that phone at all. And now it looks like Apple is walking straight into the same trap. Sure, the iPhone 17 Air might look sleek, it might feel light in your hand, but when your battery dies halfway through the day, will that even matter? It seems like both Apple and Samsung are stuck chasing ultra-thin designs, even when users clearly care more about longer battery life. And while design does matter, it shouldn't come at the cost of basic functionality. A dead phone, no matter how thin, is still a useless phone. We'll have to wait and see what Apple officially reveals when the iPhone 17 Air launches. But based on everything we know so far, it's shaping up to be a phone that looks good, but might not keep up with your daily needs. If you want to stay in the loop as more leaks and official info come out, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We break down the real pros and cons so you know what's actually worth your money.